Hi friends, welcome to Nessa's Nook. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different that is not definitely Nessa's Nook stuff. I've never finished obviously painting over here in the corner and over here in this corner, but that's okay. We had other cabinets up there at that time, or something was up there. Yeah, I think different cabinets. Anyways, it's not like anybody sees my laundry room, but my husband really nicely had put this piece of wood on here because you know me, I have way too many gadgets. And when I have usually this full, I have like my dehydrator, and then I have my crock pots and my pressure cookers and stuff that I don't use on a daily basis, but I don't want in my garage. So he built me this shelf that goes on top of my front loaders. And then, of course, we had the pop refrigerator right there too. And so what's going to happen is he's going to take this off, and he's going to take it out to the garage, and he's going to sand it. Now, we've had the paint, we've had the epoxy, we've had everything for this for probably 3 years. But, it was cold or like whatever. Last year we didn't do much of anything, obviously. So what he's going to be doing is he's going to go ahead and I'll help him pull this off here because it's really in there pretty tight. And he's going to take it out to the garage, put it on a table, and sand it really well. We'll put the coat of black paint, because what we're going to be doing is doing like the black paint with, it's going to have, in the epoxy, it's going to have some black paint with some sparkles in it. And like what our old black granite used to look like. And if it looks good, we might eventually, when we redo the kitchen epoxy counters, we may do the same thing to that. Because I really, really did love that in the granite. So I'm not going to take a video. I'll probably take a video of him sanding this real quick. And just follow along as this becomes hopefully a very beautiful piece of countertop instead of just piece of wood that he gave me all those years ago. So follow along for this. I mean, hopefully it should be lots of fun, and hopefully you can see how you could take a piece of ugly wood and make it into something absolutely amazing that really, really sticks out in your home. So be here, follow along, and we'll be back. So here's Mark starting the sanding the tabletop, and he'll get the whole thing sanded for us, and we will go get the paint, or go get the roller and get this all started, and then we'll have to go get the plastic and stuff because the epoxy will drip like all over the floor. So we'll be back. Alright, so Mark thought he'd be really nice and actually took his router and went around the edges. This is all nice and sanded and smooth now. So now we just have to get the paint on here and get this going and let the paint dry and go ahead and start the epoxy process. Alright, Mark's going to go ahead and start getting this rolled out and get this painted so it can dry. We may need 2 coats, we don't know. But I'll bring you back when this whole part is actually painted. Alright, this first layer is done. It's all nice and dry. So we can go ahead and get out the stuff for the epoxy. As you can see, we have plastic on the floor to catch all the epoxy. And this is actually hanging over the table enough where it's not gonna, when it does go over the sides, it's gonna go straight to the plastic, not to the table that's down below it. So we'll go ahead and get this epoxy mixed up, and we'll show you how very easy this is. Now this does take several days, so we're not gonna be able to park in the garage for a couple days, but this is gonna take several days for this to actually dry, but it's gonna hopefully be absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to mix up, like, I believe, is it a gallon we're going to mix up?
Yeah.
We're going to mix up a gallon. I don't think we're going to need, honestly, a gallon. So you're going to do a half a gallon of each, the part A and the part B.
Which equals a gallon.
Which will equal a gallon. And Mark said that this will actually be dry tonight enough to move it so we can actually have access to our garage. So he's going to go ahead, and that's what, a 32 ounce?
This is a quart.
So do you think 2 quarts is going to be enough, or?
Yeah, it's gonna equal a gallon when we're done.
Okay, so nonetheless, we read somewhere that the epoxy does not stick to the silicone stuff, so that's what we're doing. And Mark's getting this first part put in here. I should have brought out the tripod, but I didn't think about it. Now he's got to fill that up with a little bit more. And we had to buy the smaller cup because we didn't have the right bowl that has like the measurements on the inside. You can buy those automatically with the measurements. We usually get those at Menards. And he just pours this in here and scoops this in. And he's going to be doing the same exact thing with this bottle here, because you have to mix both together and you have to stir constantly for 5 minutes, which is kind of a pain. But with a stone coat that we are going to redo the kitchen with, if we redo it in epoxy, we will be buying that, and that can actually be mixed with a drill, which will be super nice and very easy. So he's going to go ahead and mix part B to this. And you're going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, this is called a hardener.
This is the hardener part. And when we had paid the guy that originally was doing our epoxy counters, he messed it up so bad. It was just wet spots everywhere. It was just absolutely horrible. Mark and I had to strip that off there, redo everything. I mean, it's not perfect, but it was our first attempt. And obviously, when we redo this, the intentions are to use the stone coat, which you can actually mess around for like 45 minutes to make sure everything and the air bubbles and everything is out perfectly. So we will be using the stone coat if we redo that in our when we redo the countertops, because I knew this going in, but I didn't realize it, that you have when you have like lighter colored paints, that a yellow hinge can come through, and that has happened a few places on my counter. So if this works out the way I want, because I absolutely love my gray granite counters, that I plan to go ahead and do that with this once this is actually done. So Mark's going to go ahead and mix this for the 5 minutes straight, and we'll be back. So this is what it looks like, and he's going to go ahead and throw in, there's a little bit of black to make the black stay shinier. We're not going to put a lot in there, but we're going to put enough in there, and then we can figure out how much more we have to add. Now when you're mixing this, you want to scrape it from the sides and everything too. That's where that silicone scraper comes in really handy. And now he's just putting in quite a bit of sparkles. We'll have to see if we have to add more. Honey, just leave that right there in case you have to add more to it. And then he's going to go ahead and mix that up. Yeah, I think you have to add more black to that. Mm-hmm. We didn't know. You know, it's been quite a few years. Yeah,
it's turning black.
I'd probably put a little bit more. I think it might be blacker than that. But you still have to hurry about this, because you only have...
Once it's on, you only got 15 minutes.
You only have so much time to mess with everything, and that's one thing I like about the stone coat versus the stuff we got at Menards. This actually...
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's pretty. I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks kind of silver from up here, but it looks very pretty. That with a black that was painted, I think this is going to look amazing. That's really pretty, honey.
Mm-hmm.
He forgot how messy and sticky epoxy is.
Okay, that's
all
mixed.
right.
Get that out there.
I said I just put that in my bowl. All right, now what's going to happen? The spreader's right there.
We're not prepared. We've got this heat gun, piece
I know, but you could spread it first, hon.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to get the little spreader out, but what he's going to do is he's going to pour this along the table. I'm going to kind of like back up so I'm not in his way. And what happens is epoxy will just run in every direction. And it's kind of cool because it's like it's the self-leveler, you know what I'm saying? It just levels everything out very nicely. And we got a little container or a little spatula thing from the store. And Mark doesn't think we used enough, but I think once, because this is a whole bunch down here, you put more down here, honey.
Yeah.
That you're going to have to bring up to the middle. But as you can see, this spreads very nicely. And then what's going to happen is he's going to get this all over. And then it's going to kind of like, you have to take some from down here. It helps, obviously, having two people to help with this. But, you know, obviously, we don't have two of these. We didn't think that far ahead. But bringing this along here and just keep mixing this. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we got epoxy over the whole table, and now what you do is you are going to be actually heating this so it kind of like will spread everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and let him work on this a little bit here, and I will bring you back as he's moving along a little bit on this, and we'll be right back. Okay, now he's got the heat gun out. Now, there are some spaces we should have probably used a little bit of more epoxy, but like I said, we have not done this in like 3 years, over 3 years. So what the heat gun does, as you can see down here where it looks a lot better, there's no the air bubbles. But I don't know if you want to just work more on this other half, honey, down here. I mean, it still looks amazing. And the heat gun keeps on doing because he keeps stepping on the cord. But this, I mean, I think it's absolutely amazing how you can take just a piece of wood, paint it, throw a little bit of epoxy over, and it just gives it a whole completely different look. And like I said, this is going to take a while for this to actually cure, to be able to put things in it. We can maybe possibly put this in the laundry room. I'm not for sure. We'll have to play it by ear. I'm thinking probably by tomorrow we should probably definitely be able to put it in there. But I mean, I think other than there's a few spots, because like I said, we didn't use enough, but like over here, you can see where it's just, this is how it should look, is over here. I mean, but it's not perfect, but I keep this counter usually.
Looks absolutely amazing for,
yep.
We're amateurs, we're not professionals.
Yep, so. Absolutely. So I mean, for this actually having tons of gadgets on here and stuff like that I think you're not going to see probably most of the blemishes anyways. But I am so happy that this is pretty much done. You can take that heat butt to this spot right there.
It's cured. I can't touch it now.
Okay, well there's one little spot there. So, I mean, like I said, it's not perfect. Now, if we had that stone coat that we want to do the kitchen and redo the kitchen with, that is something that definitely you have a lot more time to work with. Where the window here is 15 minutes, that stone coat is 45 minutes. I'm not an affiliate with Stone Coat, but I've watched enough of their videos and I'm absolutely totally amazed. So I think this looks really good, and we'll show you what that looks like once it's actually in the laundry room. Okay, friends, how is this looking compared to yesterday when we had just that plain piece of ugly wood? Yes, I still got to find paint to paint like that part right there. That's a given. But I mean, what are you thinking as far as this? I mean, do you think this looks really good? I mean, could you even believe how you could take a piece of wood like this and just transform it? Now, I am going to wait Probably another day to put all the appliances back on here. I mean, it seems rock hard. It seems like I probably could, but I don't want to ruin it in any shape or form. Now, we did have to put a second coat on here, and there still is, like, right here, you can see it's like a little bit of imperfections, but I think it's the wood itself. But I mean, look at this. I mean, is that just not amazing looking? I mean, it's hard to believe that you could just take one piece of wood like that and actually just make it into something absolutely beautiful with a little bit of epoxy. I have another video that I'm going to be putting out that we put the same slab up against my current countertop, on top of it, against my current backsplash. And if you can let me know if you think we should keep that or not, definitely let me know. So thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this epoxy little thing here that we had going on. We really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. A little bit messy like it always is. But let me know of your comments down below. Have you ever worked with epoxy before? Have you ever done anything like this before? And of course, what do you think of this? I mean, this really, to me, I think it really changes the whole look of the laundry room in a very, very good way. So thank you again for stopping by. Have a very blessed and wonderful day.